Hey y'all, it is Jess and welcome back to Roots and Refuge Farm. About a month ago, I did a video telling you random things about me to allow you to know me a little bit better as the face behind this channel. And I promised then that we were gonna do a video telling you some things about Miah. And so today that's what we're here to do. We're going to tell you just some random fact that you can get to know this wonderful man that I love so much. Yourself.
Okay, I'll just be myself. Fact number one, I am a creative thinker. I have prided myself on being able to think outside the box and solve problems. I find all kinds of knickknacks and doodads to do jobs that they were never intended to do. So what that has actually done in our marriage is that Jessica has learned that I can pretty much figure anything out. And so like when something is broken before, for example, the dishwasher, I'm like, oh, I can't fix it, we'll just have to go buy a new one. She's like, you haven't even tried yet. Like, she's like, we're not even gonna broach the subject of buying a new one until you've at least tried. And I took it apart, watched the YouTube video, and fixed the dishwasher. All right, fact two is that I come from a very large family. When I say a very large family, it's pretty large. It's not Duggar size, but it's not small either. I'm the third oldest of 9 kids, all from the same mom and dad. There are 6 boys and 3 girls, ranging from 30, how old is Elizabeth?
I don't know, 39?
39 to 20. Fact 3 is that I am a medically retired Marine. When I was 16, I graduated high school, joined the Marine Corps by the time I was 17, and within that same year, I was at my first duty station in Okinawa, Japan. While I was stationed there is actually when I found the tumor that was in my left leg, which sent me stateside and started the process of figuring out what was going on. The process started with them removing the tumor, which also removed 15% of my hamstring, and that led to 2 other surgeries and radiation treatment, which was what brought me to the medical retirement. My plans completely fell apart. I had actually intended to be a lifetime Marine and spend the next 20 years serving my country and traveling and just living the Marine life. So at about 20 years old, I had found myself with my dreams crushed. My body was broken. I had to make lots of adjustments. Found myself severely depressed because of the circumstances. You know, I'd always been athletic, played basketball and football, ran, and all those things were really taken off the table for me at that point. And then, you know, losing the Marine Corps was just kind of like the final thing that sent me into a very deep depression at a very young age. So this is the scar from the surgeries. As you can see, I've still got lots of side effects, and you can compare muscle mass. You know, I'm still missing a good portion of my hamstring, so, but I've learned to adapt. Fast forward 13 years, you know, I've really have had to learn my limitations, and I've learned to adapt to them, understanding that, you know, I might want to push myself farther than I actually can, which has caused side effects. A lot of people that I just meet don't know that, you know, I'm limited. I don't like to say disabled. I'm grateful that I still have the ability to walk. You know, I'm grateful for the fact that they didn't have to take my leg, which was on the table when I was discussing it with the doctors early on. Fact number 4. I make very interesting clothing choices. As recently I've been called on YouTube tank top guy, which I can't argue with because it's humid and hot out here. I say that I make interesting clothing choices because I'm literally the exact opposite of Jessica. For example, Jessica has all these really funky, cool clothes, and she always looks beautiful in them. And I know that you guys notice that because you make all these great comments about them. And I just, you know, I don't think that way. Here's what I do. Let me just give you the Jeremiah Clothing 101. Now, I find a shirt that I like. For example, I love Old Navy tank tops. Yes, I am currently wearing an Old Navy tank top. I buy every single color I can find in that model of tank top.
Model. Sorry. So good. I'll hold it in.
I buy every single color that I can in that particular cut of a tank top. So in the summer, I wear one tank top in many different colors. Then if it gets a little cooler, I'll wear the same t-shirt in many different colors. And stay tuned, when it gets cold, I have a thermal that I wear in many different colors. So when I get up to get dressed in the morning, it's very straightforward and simple. Pick a tank top, pick a pair of pants, get my shoes on. You know, I don't know if it's that the Marine Corps training in me or not, but I like simple choices. You know, you got to keep things simple. I've got enough choices to make. I'm going to get asked enough questions in a day with my kids that I don't need to be putting a lot of thought process into what am I going to wear. Fact 5, I actually grew up in Oklahoma. We moved around a few times, but almost everywhere we moved to had land. The last place that I lived in Oklahoma had 5 acres, and we had chickens occasionally for meat, and we did a really large garden. I actually was required to help in that a lot. You know, being forced to do that kind of stuff, like, it really kind of put a bad taste in my mouth for gardening and homesteading. I honestly never thought that I would choose this life and then also enjoy it. But then I met Jessica, and in the very early stages of our relationship, we had many conversations until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and falling asleep, dreaming about farms and chickens and all the things that we were going to do. It has been one of the most rewarding things to see this farm become what it has become and watch her dreams come true and be able to partner with her and enjoy it. Fact 6 is that I actually have a very extensive carpentry background. From the time I was 10 or 11 years old, I would get into my dad's tools without permission and build things. I built tree forts, not stable ones or safe ones, but you couldn't stop me either way. I was constantly slapping things together and imagining. That turned into a actual formal training in the Marine Corps, where I got to train and learn under some very skilled carpenters, especially in the stint from my first surgery till the time that I actually got out. The shop that they put me in was called the construction shop, and that's where I learned a lot of my finished carpentry skills. You know, since then, you know, I went through a long time of not being able to work because of the recovery from the surgeries and some of the other complications that I've had. But when I got to a place to be able to function again, I've gotten back into carpentry, and it has been a very useful skill, especially for what we do out here on the homestead. So the carpentry skills being paired with my ability to think outside the box, like for what we do as far as repurposing materials and working and doing a homestead, like it has become, those are the 2 things that I use the most. Now, I built this swing, Jessica got this little netting tire swing for Christmas, and we needed to figure out how to hang it, so I came up with this with salvaged wood. The only thing we actually bought was the swing itself. I've built 2 beds, a bunk bed and my king size bed in my room. I also built my kitchen table. Number 7 is about the one experience in my life that was the hardest to process, to understand, but it also sharpened me the most. You know that for those of you who don't know, me and Jessica have a blended family. I was married very young, and that was actually the time that I was still in the Marine Corps. So at 18 years old, me and my ex-wife find out that we're expecting. Even though I still really was a child, I was super excited because I always knew that I was going to have a family. I always knew that I was going to be a good dad. I was always good with kids growing up. You know, to me, this was like the start of a fulfillment for a lifelong dream of being a dad. Right around the same time that I was having surgeries and recovering from the first surgery, right before my second tumor surgery, is when all this started happening. There were a lot of complications early on in the pregnancy. Now, that was a pretty long and drawn out process of waiting and seeing what was going to happen. And, you know, he came at 28 weeks, which was pretty early. And back then, medical science was not where it is today. And, you know, he never made it out of the hospital. And the thing is that, you know, that was single-handedly the most devastating thing that could have happened. You know, to go in with so much excitement, you know, on the front end of becoming a dad and meeting your son, and for the outcome to come out that way, you know, brought questions that I could not get answers to. You know, of the why and the, you know, what happened and how is this, you know, how is this happening? And even though that season was such a whirlwind of emotions, of ups and downs, you know, one thing I do remember coming out of that whole season is that God was glorified. I can't tell you how many cards and letters and different things were left at our recovery room door from other nurses and doctors, other parents that were there that had kids who were still fighting to live. The unanimous thing on all of that was that they saw God through us. So, you know, I can look back and I still to this day can think, how did they see that? Me and God had already started our relationship by that point. And so, he kind of took over and guided me through that. So with losing Christian, on top of losing the Marine Corps, that sent me to about a 5-year period of just really searching myself, searching out God, asking God a lot of hard questions. But by the time I came to the conclusion of that was right before God brought me to Jessica. He has taken me through a long process of healing, understanding that I don't have to have all the answers, that I don't have to have all of it figured out. And so the place that I'm at is that, I still don't have the answers. I still don't know why. I still don't know, the purpose behind it all. But I do know that through it all, I've come to one conclusion, that God is still good. And now I have, 5 sons that I'm raising, and he didn't abandon my other son because I truly believe that he is with them. Him walking me through that process has made me a better father, has made me a better husband, has made me a better person. And it has strengthened my relationship with him to lean on him, especially when I don't understand. Number 8, when things get really heavy and tense, you can count on me to make a joke. I have not, in 33 years of life, learned how to navigate intense, heavy situations without trying to make it funny. So I'll spare you any kind of joking right now, especially after I have laid that heavy information about my son passing. But you can rest assured that you would not want me giving your eulogy or, speaking at your graduation or anything that was like heavy at all, because it's going to get awkward for me. Number 9 is that I'm actually a reformed picky eater. When me and Jessica first got together, it was Kraft mac and cheese, frozen pizzas, and junk food. That was what sustained me. Since then, I actually eat way more vegetables, and I actually enjoy them. I have juiced. I basically...
Juicing is slang for steroids.
Oh. Yeah. Can you tell?
Okay, sorry.
And while I don't eat everything that comes out of the garden, I am eating considerably healthier than I ever have before. So number 10 is that I have always been a huge closet nerd. I love everything Star Wars. Grew up watching Star Trek, every series. Have always appreciated it. Board games. We actually have about once a year, we play a massive game of Axis and Allies, Star Trek Catan, Settlers of Catan, pretty much anything nerdy I'm into. I also still play with Legos, probably more than my kids do. So here are a couple of Star Trek influenced ships that I built out of the kids' Lego sets. I completely conceptualized and put these together with, pieces from 25 different kits, from dinosaurs to some Avengers stuff. But this is some of my best work, I do say. So what do you guys think? Did they pass the test for all my nerd friends? I've got my deflector dishes here, warp nacelles. Yes, everything I know. Everything has a purpose. I didn't just stick cool pieces on there. I actually decided what those pieces did. That's how nerdy I get. I've learned about myself that I have to keep my hands busy to process like grief or different things like that, having a really bad day or just something like that. That's when I go and like build something. And this one actually took me like 4 hours straight. I went down to the basement. I told Jessica, I was like, I just need a minute. And I went down there and I sat for 4 hours straight and put this ship together right after something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something that was distressing me. And then, about a year later, I pulled the set back out and put together this one in about 2.5 hours, also processing emotions.
I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know my love and learning some of these things about his life, and I hope that helps you understand him better and understand us better. We so appreciate getting to share our life with you guys, and just want to be able to share who we are as people. I can't always promise that what you see through this window of YouTube will be completely neat and tidy and perfect, but I can promise you a clean window. to look through. That's it. That's about what we've got to offer. So we thank you guys so much for watching. We bless you. Until next time.